students with high ability or if they've been identified gifted. So we are very proud to offer this program for them. So welcome everybody. Bienvenidos a todos a la Casa Abierta para el programa Magnets o Estudios Avanzados. I always like to start with this slide, One Franklin. Even though we have multiple pathways, multiple programs at Franklin, we are united by our school community. We are very proud of the achievements. We're very proud of the achievements, but what we're most proud is the resiliency that Ben Franklin has shown through the years. We are over 100 years, and I will always repeat this because we know and we understand that we're doing things differently due to the pandemic, but we have to recognize that in 1918, there was another pandemic. We also have to recognize that Benjamin Franklin has experienced multiple wars and earthquakes, and yet we're here. We're standing, we're achieving, we're thriving, and we just have to keep a positive attitude and be very resilient during these times. This too shall pass. And our vision is very important. Equitable access for all students, our magnet students, our School for Advanced students, our students with disability, our English learners. We are One Franklin, equitable access, rigorous, high standards for all, over 100 years of excellence, and of course, a dynamic curriculum because we know we have students that learn differently. Nuestra visión es que todos nuestros alumnos reciban acceso y a un programa riguroso y dinámico, porque sabemos que todos aprendemos diferentes, pero las expectativas deben de ser altas para cada estudiante. And this is what guides our work. Esto es lo que guía nuestro trabajo. We want our Franklin students, when they graduate, we want them to be active and informed citizens. We want them to be critical and creative thinkers. And we want them to be effective communicators. And in our case, with the dual language, effective communicators in 2 languages. So esto es lo que nos guía nuestro trabajo. Queremos que nuestros alumnos sean ciudadanos informados y que sean activos en su comunidad. Queremos que sean creativos y que piensen críticamente y también queremos que que se comuniquen efectivamente. And I never introduced myself, so I am Regina Marquez Martinez. I'm the principal of Franklin High School. Yo soy la directora Regina Marquez Martinez, and it is now my pleasure to introduce to you our STEM Magnet Coordinator, Ms. Mari Franco.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Welcome, everyone. So I'm the STEM Magnet Coordinator, and I'm going to try to give you a short overview of our program. Egon, will you be switching the slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Next slide.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Egon. Okay, so welcome to STEM Magnet program. We're under Principal Regina Marquez Martinez, and then the AP who oversees our program is Ms. Jada as well. Okay, so an overview of our program, we have a total of 424 students. We have 32 students to 1, so that's 32 students to 1 teacher, and the following year we'll reduce 30 students to 1. We have approximately about 105 students per grade level, and we fund 16 teachers, including science, math, English, social studies, Spanish, and STEM electives. So we fund 16 teachers who stay with the 424 students for 4 years. Um, nuestros números de estudiantes tenemos en total 424 estudiantes, 32 estudiantes para cada maestro por curso. Y el año que sigue vamos a tener 30 estudiantes para cada maestro. Número de estudiantes por grado, como más o menos como 100 o 105 estudiantes. Y en total tenemos 16 maestros, incluyendo ciencia, matemáticas, inglés, estudios sociales, español y cursos electivos de STEM. Entonces, estos 16 maestros se quedan con los mismos 424 estudiantes por 4 años. Awards and recognitions. So we're really proud of our teachers and our students. Over the past 4 years, we've received the National Magnet Schools of America Awards for Excellence and Distinction. And we've also been recognized by LAUSD as an excelling magnet program. And we hope to continue doing well. And then you'll see in front of the school as well, we have the awards and recognitions. Premios y reconocimientos. Nosotros hemos recibido varios premios de escuelas de Magnet de América. Quiere decir que estos premios son nacionales, incluyendo el mérito de excelencia, también distinción. Y también por 2 años ha recibido reconocido por LAUSD como un programa Magnet adelante. Hoy también, sorry. STEM focus, we have students because our focus is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Our students take more classes within the STEM field that is required for graduation. So our students take 4 years of science. They can take up to 2.5 years of computer science or 2.5 years of engineering. And then they take 4 years minimum of math. So some of our students take between 4 to 7 years of math, depending if they take Escalante classes. And then in 11th grade, they choose to continue with either computer science or engineering. Let me go, can you go back, Egon, so I could just translate that other slide too? Nosotros estamos enfocados en ciencia o STEM, entonces nuestros estudiantes toman 4 años de ciencia, más que el mínimo para graduar, 2 años y medio de ciencia de computadoras y 2 años y medio de ingeniería, y también 4 mínimo, o puede ser hasta 7 años de matemáticas, depende si toman clases durante el verano del programa Escalante. Nuestros estudiantes pueden escoger si quieren seguir con ciencia de computadora o ingeniería en grado 11. Pero pueden ver que nosotros enfocamos en estas áreas de STEM. So you could visit, we welcome you to visit and hopefully encourage you to visit our STEM Magnet. So if you go on to the Franklin High School website and click on STEM Magnet, there you'll find an overview of our program, our office hours, and any videos or PowerPoints that we may include so that it could help you in your decision when applying for a magnet program. Entonces pueden visitar nuestro programa en el website. Si pueden tocar el Franklin STEM Magnet y pueden agarrar más información en nuestro programa. También tenemos horas de oficina y pueden juntar con nosotros cada viernes a las 11:30 y cada lunes a las 5:30 si quieren más información. I forgot to mention in English that myself and the dual language coordinator have office hours every Friday at 11:30 and then Monday at 5 p.m. if you want to learn more information about our programs. Thank you.
Okay, and now it is my pleasure to introduce to you our Franklin Dual Language Academy Magnet coordinators, Ms. Susie Avakian and Ms. Rebecca Rowe.
Thank you. I think Rebecca Rowe is taking the first slide, right?
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm very proud to present to you our dual language magnet program. We're 5 years old. FTLA es una pionera en 2 idiomas en español en el nivel secundario. Como la única escuela intermedia de 2 idiomas que se encuentra en un campus secundario en el LAUSD, FTLA es el primer programa dual que ofrece la promesa de una educación bilingüe hasta grados 6 a 12. So we're very proud that we are the only SPAN school in LAUSD that is offering a dual language curriculum and that is also a magnet. We can go on to the next slide. We have a 3-tiered, goal. We like to think of it as 3-2-1. FDLA students take 3 classes in Spanish at the middle school level. And then when they go up to the high school level, they take 2 classes in Spanish. And the ultimate #1 goal, of course, is to get that biliteracy seal on the diploma. Los estudiantes de FTLA del nivel intermediario toman 3 clases en español. Y en el nivel secundario toman 2 clases en español cada año. Pero la meta es obtener un sello estatal de alfabetización bilingüe en sus diplomas en los grados 8. En 8 es un honor, pero en 12 es algo más porque es en sus diplomas. So in 8th grade, it's a beautiful honor and a nice pat on the back, but 12th grade is what we really strive for because that becomes a seal on their transcripts. So no one can say it better than our students. So we have a short video from one of our students, Crystal Delgado.
We need voice.
Yeah, I think if there's an option on Zoom to share sound from the computer, and that could be what we need right now is to share computer sound.
Or if Mr. Trujillo is wearing earphones, he might need to unplug those.
Hola, mi nombre es Cristal Delgado y este es mi 3er año en la Academia de Lenguaje Dual de Franklin High School. Ser bilingüe es muy importante porque nos da la oportunidad de agarrar una buena carrera y tener un buen futuro. Hoy en día los trabajos buscan a personas que sean bilingües porque los 2 idiomas más comunes en los Estados Unidos son el inglés y el español. Así que las personas bilingües tenemos más posibilidades de agarrar una buena carrera que las personas monolingües. Debería considerar inscribir a su hijo o hija en este programa porque tendrá una diversidad de oportunidades para un futuro exitoso en un mundo bilingüe. One of the factors I have enjoyed the most has been having small classes. Our class is of less than 30 students, which means our teachers have enough time to focus on every single student. Having small classes also means having good communication with our teachers. We're able to ask for help whenever we need, and they're able to help us with whatever it is that we need. For example, I usually ask my teachers for help with my essays, whether they're in English or Spanish, and they're able to help me out and listen to my ideas. Otro aspecto que me gusta mucho sería que los niveles de nuestras clases en inglés y nuestras clases en español son iguales. Los estándares académicamente de nuestras clases están en un nivel alto. Esto nos ayuda a trabajar duro y nos ayuda a mejorar nuestros 2 idiomas. Yo he aprendido nueva terminología académica y esto me ha ayudado a mejorar mi escritura y ayudarme a comunicarme mejor.
Thank you for listening to that. I'm going to pass it to my co-coordinator and partner, Susie, now.
Well, Thank you. So you got to hear from one of our 11th grade students, and I thought she did so beautifully. She made that film as part of the film class that she's now taking, which is taught in Spanish. And that was a project that the students did. That one was nice and sweet and short, so we thought we would share that with you. It's just some of the classes that we do offer at the high school level. We offer a multitude of Spanish classes because we have learners of English and learners of Spanish in our program. We have Spanish for native speakers, and we also have non-native speakers Spanish classes. Then we also have AP Spanish Language, AP Spanish Lit. We have Biología, which is biology, Historia del Mundo, Historia de los Estados Unidos. And again, we have the film class and Educación Física, so kids can also take PE in Spanish in high school. And then moving on to what happens in middle school, if you could change the next slide. You'll see that in our middle school program, they really have a very small grouping. It's a very intimate environment in our middle school. We only have one group right now of 8th graders, one group right now of 7th graders, and 2 small groups of 6th graders. So they have Historia, history in Spanish with La Maestra Via, or they might have it with Miss Claudia or Miss Villa, or they might have Espanol with Miss Villa or Miss Orozco. They have Ciencias, usually with Miss Gutierrez. Mr. Young teaches math in English all the time, and in English they could have Claudia or Miss Villa, and then they have Mr. Martinez for PE. And so they get to really know these teachers because they have them once or twice a day. Again, our middle school is located in a different part of our school. When we're there face to face, our middle school students have wearing uniforms, so it's easy to distinguish. They have their own area, they have their own yard. So it's a nice place for the kids to really get to know each other and get to know their teachers. Right now in our middle school classes, like in 6th grade, they only have classes of about 17 to 19 students. So the teachers really get to know them. Next slide.
So we also have a vibrant after-school life. Tenemos oportunidades extracurriculares. Estoy aprendiendo español como nuestros estudiantes en grados 6 a 8. Tenemos un club de robótica que tiene una reunión ahora. Y las poristas, las panteras, y también un grupo de liderazgo. We have our FDLA mini nerds that are mentored by our high school robo nerds from that are, from the STEM program, but we also have SAS students, Franklin High School residential students, dual language students. It's one of those one Franklin opportunities. El Club de Robótico de Franklin High School de nivel secundaria, los estudiantes en 11 o 12 grado son maestros para nuestros estudiantes. We have, in other times we have field trips, paseos, and an after school program para deportes. So tenemos un club de after school también. A las 6 todos los días. We go to 6 o'clock every day. So that would be when we have face-to-face instruction. We go to the next slide.
So Ms. Franco alluded to this before. We have office hours that are shared between the STEM Magnet Coordinator and myself. So if you have questions or if you think of things later, I encourage you to take a screenshot or use your phone to take a picture of this particular slide, because if you want to ask questions about the STEM program or the FDLA program, the dual language program, we really encourage you. We hang out on Zoom and we wait for people to come and ask us questions. Estos son los horarios de la oficina para la coordinadora de STEM, Ms. Franco, y yo. Y por favor, ven y pregunta, ask us anything you want and talk to us. And Franco speaks Spanish, so English and Spanish are welcome. Again, so take a picture of this and come talk to us later. And it's for both of us. My name's on there. I'm Susie Avakian, but Miss Mari Franco is there as well. And for us, if it's the same thing as STEM, when you go to our main website, if you click on the badge of Franklin Dual Language Academy, it opens up all of these different things that you can learn about our program. We keep putting on our videos and information, and it's pretty interactive. So we encourage you to take a peek at our website after the presentation.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias, Dual Language. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Teresa Rick, and this is for School for Advanced Studies, and I will help her with the translation.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Teresa Reck. I am the coordinator for the School for Advanced Studies. I'm also the coordinator for our Inclusion program. I'm going to speak a little bit to both.
Buenas tardes, su nombre es Teresa Rick. Es la coordinadora de estudios avanzados y también para estudiantes con discapacidades. Es parte de nuestro programa de inclusión. Vamos a hablar sobre los dos programas.
The School for Advanced Studies is a program to support our gifted and high achieving learners at Franklin High School.
La escuela estudios avanzados son para nuestros alumnos dotados o que están están sobresaliendo en sus cursos en la escuela Franklin High School.
We've created a course pathway for the students that include honors and AP courses from 9th through 12th grade.
Hemos creado cursos para los alumnos que tomen cursos de honor o clases de AP, empezando en el grado 9.
As part of the School for Advanced Studies, students would be enrolled in the AP Capstone Diploma program.
Parte del programa de estudios avanzados es que nuestros alumnos van a ser inscritos en el programa de diploma Capstone,
which would give them the opportunity to earn what's called an AP Capstone Diploma, passing 4 AP exams with a score of 3 or higher, and a set of courses, the AP Research and AP Seminar courses that prepare them for research in college.
Esta oportunidad les va a dar a los alumnos que reciban un diploma exclusivo del College Board, y para recibir este diploma necesitan pasar 4 cursos de AP con una calificación de 3 o más alto, y también 2 cursos más de research, es decir, en total 6 cursos con un 3 o más alto. Y recibirán un diploma por el College Board.
And then next slide. All right, so at Franklin, we also are a full inclusion school. All of our students on diploma track are enrolled in the general education classrooms.
Todos nuestros estudiantes estudiantes que tengan un IEP están en un programa que le llamamos inclusión. Todos nuestros alumnos van a obtener su diploma y están estudiando en los cursos generales de Franklin.
The students with disabilities are supported in classrooms with co-teachers, one SPED teacher, and the general education teacher. And they develop lessons together that support the students in different learning styles and at various stages of learning.
Estos alumnos están apoyados por 2 maestros o asistente de maestros. Los maestros planean juntos y también se aseguran de que sigan los mandatos según el IEP.
Next slide. So I know a lot of parents have many questions about how to support students with disabilities in the school, or questions about the SAS program. I'm always available by appointment, but I do have office hours for parents on Mondays at 3. But you can contact me anytime, and I would be happy to set up an appointment to speak to either of these programs. And if you want to take a screenshot of here, it has all of my information.
Tomen una foto para que reciban toda la información de los REC. Los lunes a las 3 tiene horas de oficina para cualquier padre, o si quiere hacer una cita, también pueden hacer una cita para hablar sobre los programas de inclusión o estudios avanzados.
Thank you.
Okay, Title I in English Learner Program. Miss, my pleasure to introduce to you Miss AP Heather Sandoval.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. So our Title I English Learner Program Coordinator, Mr. Reyes, is unable to join us tonight. So I will introduce our program on his behalf. So our Title I English Learner Programs are two separate programs that support our students who fall within certain criteria. And Title I is socioeconomic criteria, and English learner is our students who are learning English as a second language. He is on campus Tuesday and Thursday should you have any questions regarding our programs. He's also available through office hours, Monday through Friday, all day upon request. He's available, as well as 1:15 to 3 p.m. on Zoom. But listed on there is his Google Voice number, as well as how to email him. All of our classes offer supports for our students who are participating in these programs in multiple ways to ensure that they are reaching their full potential and growing as best as they can, especially during the time that we're going through right now. So, thank you.
Muchas gracias. Nuestro coordinador de título 1 y de aprendiz de inglés, el señor Manny Reyes, no pudo estar con nosotros, pero quiere que sepan que nosotros también estamos apoyando a nuestros aprendices de inglés o estudiantes que son bajo de título 1, que más o menos son 90 y tantos estudiantes en la escuela Franklin. Cualquier programa específico, ya sea el STEM Magnet, ya sea el programa de Dual Magnet o el estudio avanzado o estudiantes en nuestro programa de inclusión, todos estos programas se les dotan el apoyo. Estamos apoyando a nuestros aprendices de inglés en cualquier programa que ellos se inscriban. Él está en la planta escolar los martes y los jueves y también tiene horas de oficinas para ayudar a los alumnos, a los aprendices de inglés, de martes a viernes entre la 1:15 y 3 de la tarde. Los padres, si quieren llamarle, ahí tenemos su número de teléfono, o si mandarle un correo electrónico también para hacer una cita para que hablen con él. Si gustan, pueden tomar una foto de esto para que tengan los números del señor Reyes. Gracias. Next slide.
Okay, so that's me. Welcome parents and families and students. My name is Mr. Trujillo. I'm the data testing and technology coordinator. So my role at the school in terms of technology right now is pretty critical because as you all know, our students are working at home online. So supporting teachers, students, and parents on a daily basis is the new norm. So I handle a lot of the tech support. I'm on campus pretty much all the time to help with, we take walk-ins. So myself and my counterpart, Michael, we can help with network configuration, troubleshooting. I manage devices. I'm the instructional device manager. So I also push out apps that we feel based on student and teacher need that are not just educational, but really supportive during this stressful time of being at home learning, which is difficult for many students. So right now, technology support is very important for all of us. I'm also the testing coordinator. So in lieu of us being at home, we're going to try our best to support teachers and students with testing. Those are the Smarter Balance tests that are coming later on in the year. And so I'm also the support for our teachers and helping them to make sure that we're getting the data from these tests and that we're making informed decisions about how our students are learning and be reflective about what the data tells us. So my office hours are there, my email is there in my office. En español, soy maestro Trujillo, soy coordinador de tecnología. Hoy que estamos en clases online de Zoom, estoy aquí para ayudar a los padres y estudiantes con el manejo de los iPads, de los hotspots. Yo soy encargado de distribución de los iPads, de hotspots, y estoy aquí para ayudarles con cualquier problema de tecnología que tengan. También soy coordinador de exámenes, así que ya que comencemos los exámenes del Estado, que se llaman los SBAC, voy a estar aquí para ayudar a los padres, estudiantes especialmente, para ver que ellos llegan a sus metas para graduar a tiempo y para que salgan bien en nuestra escuela. Así que ahí está mi número de teléfono, mi correspondencia y mi oficina, y también estoy en escuela. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Y nuestro centro de padres, our parent center, si necesitan ayuda, if you need any help on how to fill out the magnet applications, you would like some assistance, here are our parent community reps names and numbers and email addresses. So we're here to help you, we're here to support, and just give us a call 24 hours in advance and we will take appointments to assist you. Tenemos el centro de padres, vamos a poder ayudarles. Simplemente llamen a la escuela un día antes, comuníquense con la representante comunitaria y estamos contentos de ayudarles. Con cita, por favor. And we wanted to take you through our website, right? Vamos a llevarlo a través del sitio web de Franklin High School.
We also have a question in the chat as well. How many electives can middle school students take?
I can answer that. The elective is Spanish, and I wonder if Susie can come on and just add anything. But you know, I think for our middle school program especially, we are really looking for students that are passionate about learning in 2 languages. Because we can literally take any student in 6th grade as long as they want to learn in Spanish and they want to take classes in Spanish. So on a 6-period day in a traditional schedule like we have in high school, our elective is Spanish, and that's an on space that we have for it. So like Susie presented, we do have 6 classes. We have English and social studies and PE and math, science, and Spanish is the elective. So we encourage students to try to start clubs, and we encourage students to participate in all that is offered with the high school life, and to have life of our own that's just for middle school students. That's why we have our cheer squad that's mentored by our varsity cheerleaders, and our Los Mini nerds that are mentored by our Robo nerds, and our leadership group that's mentored by our ASB class. So there's a lot of opportunity, especially with the Beyond the Bell sports program, for after school life and extracurricular life. But it's an academic schedule with 6 classes, and Spanish is that elective.
I think you covered it really well. The only thing I would add is part of a bilingual program is being bilingual, biliterate, and bicultural. So there is a lot of culture involved or embedded into these electives in the middle school. So like our 6th grade, it's language and culture. It's a heritage language. So a lot of families really appreciate the fact that we celebrate a lot in those classes. So that's the only thing I would like to add, because most of those like fun extracurricular stuff happens outside of the curricular day.
I would also add that, our band teacher is always trying to get middle school students. Last year we had a student on the drum line, and that I think he was the youngest student in Franklin's 100-year proud history to wear that FHS band uniform. So there are a lot of opportunities for those students who seek them, and we can start things too. I think that very same student started a drama club last year. So our teachers are really good at incorporating things like journalism and web design and art and theater into their core classes, and I think that's what keeps students interested in learning in 2 languages. But that other fun stuff like dances and field trips and all of that, we just try to incorporate that in that outside life as well.
And there's one more question on the chat box, but why don't we let's review the how to apply, and then we'll go back to the questions, because I really want to make sure that you see how our website is laid out so that we can give you easy access to apply. So Ms. Sandoval will take us through the website.
All right. Egon, will you go back real quick just so we can start from the beginning, please? Thank you. Okay, so this is our website. It's franklinhs.org. This is, all information Franklin, this is where you're going to find it. We update it daily as things, so always check here for the latest up-to-date information of what's going on with us at the school. Now, for you folks here, you're here to, because you're interested in applying for our magnet programs and our SAS programs. So if you go to this button that's right here in the middle, it says click to apply to magnets and SAS. So if you click on that, it's going to take you to this page. Okay, and it has some information about the 3 specialty programs that you just learned about, what they are, what is unique about each of them. And so it gives you an opportunity to just read through and figure out which one best suits your child's needs and their interests. So next step is applying. So where the mouse is, it says apply now, you click there. Now, this is going to take you to where eChoice application links are. These are from the district. So this is really important that you go in and you complete these applications, these documents, because this is what's going to begin your enrollment process in one of our 3 specialty programs. All right. If you click on that where the hand is, the mouse hand, it will take you to the district's unified enrollment webpage for the various magnet programs. And this is where your whole journey to start off with us begin. So you click on that apply now button, and then it will start taking you through the process of submitting your child's application for one of our programs.
Ms. Sandoval, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just want to reiterate that our dual language magnet program is found under the magnet section of this website. Even though there is a dual language section, we are the only dual language program that is a magnet, so that's where you have to look. It's confusing, so I just wanted to clarify right now.
No, thank you, Ms. Avakian. So yes, of course, it's really important if you're interested in dual language that you look under the magnet section for that. That's where you'll find it. Okay, but like we've said many times, if there's any questions throughout this process, you always reach out to our parent reps, Ms. Behar, Mr. So. They are wonderful, and they will walk you through the process and help support you in any way, as well as any of our magnet coordinators who are fabulous at what they do. Okay, so going back to the website, down, the next one is how do I apply? Okay, so the window opened on October 1st and it goes till November 13th. Okay, so once you go to that page that we were just at, that unified enrollment page, you complete the application, make sure you have, you get the last screen says, it's been submitted, and it's been submitted. Okay, by the 13th, it's the on-time application. Now, if it's submitted after the 13th, so November 14th to December 2nd, that's going to be the late application. You're still going to go to that link, but it will have an area for you to submit that late application. It's really important, really important to make sure to get in before the 13th, so that's not late, because what starts happening is that the applications submitted on time have priority in being enrolled in one of the magnet programs.
I think
So,
actually for the magnets, there's a break in the
there is?
unified enrollment. So after the 13th, there's like this dead window for the 21-22 applications. And that's because people start applying like for the fall, for the spring semester. So then the late application window doesn't open again until next year. I believe it's February 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah, we always want to do more education on that part. So thanks for chiming in, Susie. I always forget to tell people how critical it is to apply during this first window, because we make so many decisions as a school about hiring and class sizes, and you know, our magnet class sizes are capped, which is great for our students, but we just like to have as much information as possible. So when we get those applications early on in the fall, it helps us prepare for the next year. So I know some families are like, oh, I'll do it later. But there is that gap that happens right at the new year. So we want to, if you're interested, we want you to apply just like I did on Saturday. I filled out my first magnet application for my own son to come to FDLA next year. He'll be in 6th grade. And if you have questions, we want you to come to those office hours and learn more about the programs in the office hours.
Can I also, sorry to jump in. Also, you'll receive a confirmation in December. That's not an acceptance notice. The acceptance notices go out in March. But if you apply online, you're able to log in and get that confirmation versus a paper application. But just know that we don't have access to who applies to our programs, but we do get a list in March of those students that are accepted, just so you know the timeline.
So those are the processes for applying. So yes, can't stress enough how important it is. Just try to get your application in during that first window. It's really super helpful for us to plan ahead so we can continue to offer these really great programs for your children. Okay. Now, still need help. There's some questions, how do I access, or any other questions. There's a YouTube video here that will help with the process. Also, Ms. Behar is available at our Parent Center. She's on campus every day of the week. She's there, she's there to help our parents try to navigate, enrolling their child, any other supports that they need. So, and she's really wonderful, as is Miss Gisela. The two of them are really great members of our Franklin family. But as always, yes, office hours. All of our coordinators have office hours. Please, if there's a question, stop on by. They're there. They're waiting for you to welcome you and answer any questions you may have. Okay. And the last part is all about applying and learning more about each individual program. So there's 3 different programs we talked about this evening. There's additional information listed here that, at your own leisure, when you have time, just to go through it at your own speed. There's information here to help assist you with, the decision that, you're going to make, which program you'd like to have your child be applying for. Right? Anything from our coordinators that you'd like to add that I've missed?
I want to say something. Hello, families. My name is Mrs. Strada. I'm one of the administrators at Franklin High School. And I just want to speak to the fact that we have extraordinary educators, coordinators. They take really good care of the kids. And these programs, these magnet programs, are probably the best programs in all of LAUSD. So I can attest to that because I know what I've seen and I've compared it to other programs. So you won't go wrong by supporting these programs and getting your children involved. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. So, para mis padres que hablan español, and I think there's just a few, but I just want to show you how all of the information, quiero enseñarles como toda la información que hemos dado en cómo aplicar para el programa Magnet, se puede traducir, está traduciéndose a través de nuestro sitio web. Si van hacia arriba en la página de Franklin, vamos a seleccionar el idioma. El idioma que vamos a seleccionar va a ser español, Spanish. Vamos a hacerle clic y voilà. Todo se ha cambiado y ahora tenemos nuestro sitio web en español. ¿Ok? Podemos ver que todo se ha cambiado a el idioma español para que ustedes puedan navegar esta página de web. Vamos a encontrar donde dice clic para aplicar al programa Magnet. Hacia arriba, donde están las fotos, vamos a hacer clic para aplicar al programa Magnet. Aquí tenemos en esta página, tenemos toda la información que necesitan para aplicar. Tenemos la información breve de los 3 programas de los cuales hemos hablado. Si quiere aplicar ya, vamos a oprimir eso. Y tenemos la solicitud de eChoices. eChoices es el lugar del distrito donde uno tiene que aplicar para el programa. Si quieren el programa STEM, van a buscar STEM Magnet Franklin. Franklin STEM Magnet. Si quieren el programa dual, cuidado, ojo, porque el programa dual, vamos a ver que en esta página del distrito hay 2 diferentes. Nosotros, Franklin está bajo el programa Magnet. Entonces busquen Franklin Dual Language Magnet bajo la página de Magnet. Va a haber otra página y la página va a ser para estudios avanzados, School for Advanced Studies. Ahí también van a encontrar Franklin. Entonces, la solicitud de eChoices está en nuestra página web, facilitándoles, haciéndole esto mucho más fácil para ustedes. Y, so we're going to go, ¿cómo me inscribo? So, how do I sign up? Okay. ¿Cómo me inscribo? Okay. Bueno, aquí está el enlace para entrar, go to lausd.net, y tenemos que inscribirnos antes del 13 de noviembre. La primera oportunidad es del 1 de octubre al 13 de noviembre. Queremos que ustedes apliquen en esta temporada, ¿ok? En enero otra vez se abre la puerta, pero realmente los cupos se llenan y es mejor que ustedes apliquen durante esta temporada. Pero por cualquier razón, si siempre hay aplicaciones tardías, si se van a poner en una lista, pero recomendándoles que por favor se inscriban antes del 13 de noviembre. Si necesitan ayuda, vamos a seguir al enlace. ¿Aún necesitas ayuda? Ok, tenemos un video donde nos enseña cómo aplicar para el programa Magnet a través de eChoices o go to lausd.net. Si necesitan más ayuda, tenemos a nuestra representante comunitaria, Ms. Behar, para ayudarle. Y ahí también tenemos su correo electrónico. Y si quiere más información sobre los programas Magnet, se puede encontrar aquí en nuestra página. Otra vez es de enlazarse con el programa Dual. School for Advanced Studies o STEM Magnet. Es de hacerle clic y los va a llevar al sitio de web para cada programa. Pero como les dijimos antes, todas las coordinadoras tienen horas de oficina a favor de llamar. Thank you. Okay, so let's open it up for some questions. I think some of you have been answering the questions as we go. So are there any questions that we have not answered, or maybe for the good of the whole?
We have several questions regarding the dual program, if we could go over some of those. So if we back up in the chat, we have questions about our seniors, we have questions about electives. So one question was about capacity and how big we are. And I'm really proud to say that we started with 23 students in 2015, and we now have over 100 students in the middle school alone. So we have grown all the way to the senior year, and it's our first year of seniors. We have 18 seniors that will be graduating from our dual language program this year. And those seniors, the reason why we do 3-2-1 and we go from 3 classes in Spanish down to 2 classes in Spanish in the high school is to open up opportunities for students to take advantage of all the other classes that Franklin has to offer. So it's pretty tight in the freshman and sophomore years for anybody because of all of the required classes. But once they get to their junior year, spots open up and we see students that start to take electives outside of the required classes. So more science, more math, you know, exploring things like yearbook and our teaching pathway, journalism, our filmmaking classes. So there are lots of opportunities for electives once they get to the 9th grade year. There were also questions about class size, and I think Ms. Francos or Ms. Avakian are sort of the magnet experts that can talk about what the class sizes have been and what the cap will be for next year, but we should be capped at 30 in each class. Am I missing anything, colleagues, in terms of, I know we've got
PE is allowed to go over 30. Physical education goes over 30.
PE classes are big. And then if I missed any of your questions, like saying them out loud, if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question or raise your hand, then you can let us know.
Can we clarify though? So a lot of our magnet students do take courses throughout the campus. So for example, if they take drawing, music, or PE, it's with students from various programs at Franklin High School, and those classes will have different norms. But if they're programmed in a magnet class, we have to abide by that norm, which next year will be 30-1. And then this year it's 32-1, just to clarify. So there are instances where the students from various programs are taking music together, drawing, and other electives, as well as participating in sports activities and clubs.
Yes. Any question? Go ahead and unmute yourself, and we have about 5 more minutes. And if not, there's also office hours that you can attend to with our coordinators for any specific program.
There was another question about what percentage of 8th graders actually stay and take advantage of that SPAN pathway. And I see Cindy's hand up, so we'll take your question after I answer this one. It's a pretty big percentage. You know, my first year at Franklin, we had only 12 students that culminated in 8th grade. And so last year we had our biggest class ever of 32. And we, you know, Elijah went to Catholic school because that was something that he had been looking forward to for a long time. So he stayed with the cohort of students, and he had been going to school with some of those kids since kindergarten. So it was important for him to culminate with them. But then he went off to Catholic school for 9th grade. And then we did have one student who went to a performing arts school. But for the most part, all of those students stayed with us. They didn't all stay in the Dual Language Academy, though. We had 4 students that went to Franklin High School. And so that happens too. And I think that's the beauty of One Franklin, is that the students really get to know the campus, and they don't have as hard a time transitioning from 8th grade to 9th grade, which can be a really tough transition for a lot of students. And they see choices. They see that they can apply to the STEM program because they've gotten to know, you know, some kids through the their Robo-Nerds program, or they are looking at Franklin High School and they see that there are things in the residential program that they want to do because they are interacting with our varsity cheerleaders and they're just a part of school life. So there's an ownership that our 8th graders have over the campus, and there's a knowledge of what's offered through the gifted program, through the residential program, through our STEM magnet program. And some of them just really identify as dual language students, and they see themselves as continuing on that pathway through graduation. So I think we get a little bit of everything with the majority of kids staying with us.
And I want to say that the advanced placement, the AP courses are open to everybody. And every single program takes advantage of all of the AP programs that we offer.
Cindy, you had your hand up?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for everybody sharing the information with us, the parents. I do have a question in regards to the e-choice. My daughter just started 9th grade, and we applied for the e-choice at the beginning of towards the end of last year for, I guess, for the 9th grade. Does she needs to reapply again for the magnet every single year, or no?
No.
No.
So it only would be, for example, if you wanted to change a specific magnet program, then you would apply, but you apply once. So for example, for the STEM magnet, we're grades 9 through 12. So you apply once you're enrolled for the 4 years.
Thank you.
I want to thank our assistant principals for being here. Ms. Carmen Juarez, I know that you were driving from school trying to make it, so thank you for being here. Mrs. Jada, instead of driving in the traffic, you stayed in the track and you did your exercise, but you're able to join us here. Ms. Sandoval stepping in for Mr. Manny. I want to thank our coordinators who just did a fabulous job. You know, it's no one expected a year ago, no one expected to be presenting this way, but I think they did a marvelous job. The students, the videos, the explanations, it really, for me, it was really well done. But when you come in and you see the students in action, and I'm sure we're going to get to that place where you're able to come in and visit the classes and visit the programs and see your students thrive, we will get there. Maybe not in a year, but we're going to get there. It is a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful school to be at. And I thank you for joining us today. I know that Highland Park, Eagle Rock Community of Schools, we're having a magnet fair this Saturday from 9 to 11. On our website, you'll have the flyer, you have the Zoom number. We're going to be there. We're going to be presenting there as well. And then we have another open house. And just, you know, if you have any friends or anybody that you know, please spread the word. We want to bring you to Franklin. Okay, so thank you. Oh, Mr. Trujillo and Miss Rec and Miss Avakian and Miss Rowe and Miss Franco. I want to just acknowledge everybody that just are here committed to Franklin High School, to that one Franklin. Thank you.
And Miss Behar too.
There's Behar, she's here too. I haven't seen her.
She's
here now.
The galaxy.
no,
Okay.
no, she's there.
She's the blue
So
eye.
Ms. Behar, community in the morning here, very committed as well. And Mr. Trujillo's cat, we're going to thank him too. All right, well, everybody have a good evening. I hear our Dodgers are not doing so well, so let's start dinner. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
To everybody.